back, and I've been on in a couple days, I guess. Well, I've been on. I've just been doing lots of stuff. Um, Finished Ninja. Well, finished up to now 53. Um, Black Mage is getting up there. I'm quickly running out of things to use to get tomes, but we've got 2 classes, and hopefully by the time we get on Ninja and Black Mage, I'll have casting gear too. But we'll see. But for now, we're trying to clean MSQ. Let's see what else is in the queue for dungeons. Although I'll probably get maybe one in, but we'll see. Welcome back. Read a word of your momentous encounter with Lord Remove beseech you. I would fain share news of mine own, but organizing discoveries must take precedence. Upon witnessing your defeat of the Lord of the Eleven, our learned companion was struck with a profound insight regarding the nature of the Asians' immortality. Let us assemble and discuss his observations together. What's the talking one?
If everyone is ready, let us begin. Urianger, the floor is yours.
As all here assembled now know, in its final hours as our Order's headquarters, the Waking Sands did play host to a most unexpected visitor. I speak of the Asian clad in white, Elidibus. Unwelcome though his presence was, his words that day did serve to confirm a truth long suspected, that the Asians are eternal beings, to whom physical destruction is as a temporary inconvenience.
In the intervening time, Urianger and I have striven to discover a means by which the Asians might more permanently be slain.
And 'tis my belief that we have found the thread that will allow us to unravel the twisted skein of their existence. In the moments prior to Leviathan's most recent manifestation, the Sahagin elder who summoned him was observed to undergo some manner of ascension. The etheric readings taken by Y'shtola at the time of this transfiguration have proven most enlightening.
The disruption to the flow of ether was sudden and dramatic. So tangible was the agitation, I scarce had need of my goggles.
The significance of Y'shtola's readings might better be understood in the context of mine own, taken at the instant of the Lord of Levin's demise. Unlike the Primal, the Sahagin was not subject to etheric dissipation.
Before discussing our methodologies, it may benefit us all to recall what we know of etheric behavior. Let us begin at what some might call the end. When we who dwell in the material realm die, our spirits dissolve into the flow of ether and are returned to the ethereal realm. In turn, the restless energy which suffuses that plane streams back into our world, giving rise to new life.
'Tis as the heavens did decree, the way of all mortal souls. Twixt this world and the next do the ethereal currents swirl, bearing the very essence of life. Thus doth the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth continue unabated.
Primals behave somewhat differently. In order to manifest and then maintain a physical presence in this realm, they must consume vast quantities of ether, most often in the form of crystals. Though they may seem to live, their flesh is but ether given shape. Thus, a defeated primal leaves behind no broken corpse. Rather, the essence of its form seeps back into the land whence it came, and the energy of its shattered spirit is called back to the ethereal realm.
And there it waiteth, till next the prayers of the faithful do draw it forth from the sea of ether, to take their offering of crystals and make for itself a new body.
Which brings us on to the third group, the so-called immortals. They exist in a manner all their own.
Quite. Even as the Sahagin Elder fell to the Admiral's musket shot, I witnessed the release of an ethereal cloud, which immediately took possession of a nearby minion.
A soul that dissipateth not upon the death of the flesh.
The secret of life everlasting, and in the claws of a Sahagin no less. But I wonder, what would happen to one of these obstinate spirits, should there be no suitable host for it to claim?
If mortal death entails a return to the ethereal realm, it seems doubtful that the soul of an immortal would venture there.
Nay, it merely withdraweth a distance, unto the shore of the ethereal sea, perchance, but no further.
Yes, it exists in neither this realm nor the next, abiding instead in the space that lies between them. The Asians took control of Thancred by means of a crystal of darkness, an artifact which, if our theories are correct, serves as a gateway to the place I have just described.
I was hoping people had forgotten about that.
I am sorry, my friend.
For a mercy, the weary road of our research hath brought us unto an answer.
The Sahagin ascended to an immortal state, but he did not possess a crystal of darkness through which to flee this realm. Thus was he consumed by Leviathan. If we could entrap the spirits of defeated Asians in like manner, and thereby deny them resurrection...
Therein lieth the path to victory. Thou art most perceptive, my lady. Only when we have trapped the bodiless soul within an ethereal prison can we hope to defeat its unnatural constancy. Thus might even an eternal paragon be consigned to oblivion.
These feats are, of course, far easier said than done. At present, we lack a viable means to entrap and extinguish an Asian soul. Yet, I believe it to be possible. The pieces of the puzzle lie before us. We have but to put them together.
I will depart at once to convene with the sages of Sharlayan. Together shall we divine the steps by which our goals may be achieved.
I have the utmost faith in you, Archon.
Beg pardon, antecedent, but I would raise one final matter. Even now, a Sharlayan survey party seeketh to ascertain the fate of the students of Baldessian. Their findings shall soon be known to us. Though you harbor feelings of dread, I bid you surrender not to sorrow, but abide instead in hopeful prayer.
I shall, Archon. Thank you.
Lord of Levin is returned to the ether, as was Leviathan before him. Ramu's acquiescence was most intriguing. Inferno, Vortex, Crag, Whirl, and Levin all have now been humbled by the bringer of light. Limitless potential of man, Heidel's servant, grows mightier by the day. Yet she prospers at great cost to her mistress, whose strength is all too finite. 7 times have the masses survived the rejoining, but their souls are grown weak and wan. Yet even as it enervates, the ardor empowers our master. All that remains is to nurture the strength of the gifted, to forge the final key. And that is the task to which we bend our every effort. Divide seems wherever wants to quicken in Eorze's fertile soil. We need only lead men to the field, and by their eager hands shall a new deity arise. That which was shattered shall be made anew, and the one true God shall come again. Now the matter of Ramu has for the present been put to rest. There is something I would show you, Rado. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King, Mugulmag, Magolmag, the 12th, Leviathan, and now Ramu. Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my call to arms. You are a true hero, Rado, and Eorze is that much safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own. And that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals too will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace who wish naught of conflict. Of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there is Sid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Allag, that we might be spared the horror of another ultimate weapon. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Asians. And combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming in this scene. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alphino. Alphino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention? There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence has largely dissipated. 'Tis a report such that I stand before you now. That and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from Ellie. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Why, Alphino, am I understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? Look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Right, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozan was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? He's right here. Look, it's Miss Ratto. She's back from her adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals. That they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Miss Ratto? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals? What's all this commotion then? This is where you fight Hoary Boulder. Mr. Boulder and Mr. Coltonet, did you know that Miss Ratto is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Ratto. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coltonet. Though we remain largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore. We are adventurers. And we were just asking Miss Ratto if she could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside her, don't you? Well, you certainly have been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Ratto? A demonstration of skill of arms, if you will. Or if I didn't know you better, I do. I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Ah ha ha ha. Well, mayhaps I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Ratto? Would you consent to spar with me? Hurrah, we're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone, we must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them. Have faith, Colton, that I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields of the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. All that for now. It's really all over the place. I totally killed the wrong thing for no reason. Thought it was one of those, not one of the giants. You so it was good of you to agree to this route. I trust you're ready to begin. Yep. Oops. Very well, let's not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Mori, are you certain you wish to fight her alone? That is rat at your face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, 'twas this hero's legend that led me to join the science to begin with. Without Rada to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida, what? Who are all these people? When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. I thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there's still more to come. When I mentioned Rado's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation's at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. We shall soon see. On your guard. best of me. I yield. Gasp. That was incredible. She beat them both at the same time. I knew you couldn't lose right out not to defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I have much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Rideout. It is ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of yours, that is most fitting. Do you recall when we first met? 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Carno. At the time I was attempting to understand this land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. Legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. It was you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. It was you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people that suffer blow after terrible blow, only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Having ever put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. Our cause, however, is not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the science of the Seventh Dawn alone. No, what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new expanded organization that operates beyond the limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. This part of the story is kind of dull. Yeah. Thank you for coming right out of the world shifts and altars, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formulation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the seventh Astral area, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the desperate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you would. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation according to the science. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum to the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the Anisim. The science worked tirelessly to protect the Eorzea and its people. As you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. With this new company under Science Command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Science are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true border-spanning Grand Company, it is yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. Tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask you to accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members, while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. It is reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and her discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. How much longer I have in me? Sleepy. exhausted. I'm gonna call it.